Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Pre-Market Pulse Scan. Today is Monday, August the 7th, 2017. The time is 12 minutes after 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Starting off with gold futures. As you can see, gold right now is trading down $2 at 12.6240. And as you can see on the daily chart here, the market has been coming off and losing momentum now. This would be the second day in a row. Friday gave up the momentum, failed to close above the daily momentum line, and now we have some slightly more selling. We have intraday support right at the trend line of 1257.80, and then we have the next support at 1251.50. All things being equal, these supports should possibly hold. However, if they do not, then we're looking at being down back below possibly 1220 by the mid-month here in August. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It is what it is. It needs to find its footing here around these two support lines. All right, we got to get a bounce from there. If not, then the vortex is going to kick in and prices will be sucked here below the Kumo cloud as we get down here. And when we get to contract rollover around this date of August the 18th, that's probably what would be around the 1220 level. Either we would have spiked there on an intraday or possibly even closed there. All right. So at some point, prices will go there between now and then if we get sucked into this vortex. And really the time to do this, if it doesn't do anything today, it has tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a key day for gold. Gold needs to maintain these trend line supports on a closing basis. All right. Now, if we switch to the weekly side, you can see down here, the weekly momentum is at 1256.90. Okay. So we can't close below that this week. We need to be able to stay above that. If not, then we give up momentum on the weekly chart as well as on the daily chart. And then you get down here where you have some trend line support at 1250.70 and 1244.40, but that puts you inside the Kumo cloud. And you know about the Kumo cloud of death. It's a vortex. It likes to suck prices into it. So we'll see what happens. Crossroads, do or die for gold. Taking a look now at silver. Let's see what we got. All right. On the silver chart, we're already well below the Kumo cloud of death and not looking so spiffy. Gave up momentum on both daily and weekly charts. All right, the weekly chart down here in the corner, you can see we're below the momentum line here, and we're below the momentum line here. So this one is bearish and falling off of a cliff. Right now, silver's down as well. All right, let's flip the script, go to the overnight. You can see the Dow is up 27 points at 22,044. The NASDAQ is at 5909, up 11. S&P 500 is up 2 1/4 at 2474.25. The Russell up 0.90 at 1412.10, and gold is at 1262.71, down $1.90. Silver is at 16.16, off 9 cents. Crude oil is at 49 even, down 57.5 cents. The long bond is at 154.03. It's flat. And soybeans are at 964.50, up 7 3/4 cents. And looking at the euro is up 27 pips at 118.18. So it's maintaining that 118 line. 118 is psychological support for the bull market now in the in the euro. Pound is down 11 pips at 130.42, and the Aussie is at 79.01. Off about 20 pips. And the dollar is at 93.47 after hitting 93.54. and it's off about 6 pips. So this is interesting because the US dollar powered up, just like I told you it would. The question is, where is it going to go from here? Let's take a look, because that is the million-dollar question. All right. Once they've taken it down to as low as they think they need to take it, then they can have a little bit more wiggle room. So right here, you see, we got down to 92.54, or up a full penny from that. And then here we are. You got this on the daily chart. You got trendline resistance at 93.97, and then up here at 95.62 and a half. All right, this is the long-term trend line resistance. This is the intermediate trend line resistance. Okay, so right now you're above the daily momentum. So a close above 93.23 would definitely lock in and show more upside for even tomorrow, even though you're in an overbought situation at this point. So longer term, downtrend still intact. Shorter term, we got positive momentum going forward. So the question is this price action going to be enough to affect the commodity prices? And I'm going to say not really, because beans are up 7 3/4 cents, and so is the dollar. All right, the dollar has strengthened off those lows. Beans couldn't maintain the $10 mark when this was falling apart. So we just got some interesting things that are just, coming here. I think the big story, though, is what's been happening in the crypto space over the weekend. Cryptos did power up pretty significantly, and I think that that is going to be something that is going to continue. I have been tracking that as well. Excuse me. And for those of you that subscribe to the weekly post wave price triggers, we've been riding it. System's been spot on with that as always. Let's see if I can pull a little something up here for you so you can take a peek. Let's see if it'll work. Sometimes I don't always have the system availability to do that, but we're going to see what we do now. Let's see what we got. While that's loading, let's look at this Dow real quick. 22,000. I remember a very long time ago, I warned about that. All right, so just almost like just parabolic straight up. The market's still in a parabolic state, just going straight up, no end in sight. But if you look at the Russell, it's the weakest, and it's already starting to push back from the momentum line here. It gave up its momentum on the daily and the weekly. All right, now you went up and touched it intraday, in the overnight market, but that's it. This one is still looking mad bearish right now. Let me look at the cash. Sometimes the cash can give us a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we got. All right, it's the daily on the cash. Yeah, you can see it a little bit more pronounced now. The futures, because that's a new futures contract, you don't have a whole lot of data, so you got to stick with the cash. So let's see. The cash here is, just straight down from 1452.09 all the way down to 1412.32. And you got a little support here at the top of the Kumo cloud. It's acting as support. So 1400 is a key psychological support. It's also coincides with the top of the Kumo cloud. As long as this can stay above that, I don't see a problem. I think the market will continue to bounce up a little bit here in synergy with the other markets. So this is interesting indeed. All right, let's take a look at the coinage real quick. I think I got it up for you now, so let's switch our screens. All right. Excuse me. All right. So you see here the Bitcoin chart. All right. You're looking at the algorithm printout. So here's what we got. We got locked in weekly momentum. All right. We are locked in. We're also locked in on the short-term momentum as well. Okay. You can see that here. All right. So everything is locked in. So on the daily support, we got $3,037.64. All right. And this was updated this morning. All right. So that's where we are on the daily. We got 3,037 and 64. And here we are at a new high of $3,370.68. Wow. Look at this. Look at this parabolic bar here. Just shot straight up, man. All right. Just straight up. I don't see any end in sight right now. This market is powerful. When you get these markets in parabolic states like this, parabolic bull markets, there's nothing you can do except for to buy them. Every correction is being bought. Here you had a really amazing correction, and this is a daily chart too, by the way. And it was bought up. Had another correction. It was bought up. Another little mini correction, and it was bought up. Every pullback is an opportunity to get long in this space. See if we can pull up the weekly here. See what we got. It may take a moment to upload. Okay, there we go. All right, on the weekly, same thing. You're locked in. You're trading above your momentum line here. So this week, all this market needs to do for this week, basically to maintain what it's doing, we just need a close above 2580.71. All right, $2,580.71 is all it needs to maintain. If it can close above that, then it carries more momentum over into next week. That's how much power is behind the market. That's a lot of space between where you are now and where the momentum line is. So this thing is just, like I said, it's parabolic. You're going to want to really watch your pulse wave price triggers on this, especially on the intraday. For those of you who are a little bit more active in this space, who are more active on the trading side, you're not looking at it from a weekly side, you're looking at it from a daily side. Just watch those intraday price inflection points as indicated in the weekly pulse wave price triggers. All right, so if you're long, watch the dynamic stop loss, because the dynamic stop loss is hunting those stops and telling you where the price inflection points will be, where the bots will kick in and push prices around. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind when you're looking at this. Okay, it's very key critical. Now let's see what else I might be able to pick up here real quick. Sometimes it's difficult to get to open what I need to open, so let's see what I can find out here. Let's do, I'm going to pick up Steam real quick for you, if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got going on here on this Steam. Sometimes it just takes a minute to load, unfortunately. It's a lot of data to crunch. And you can see here as this thing is loading, you can see just how long this bull market has been lasting. Look at this. Look at this momentum here. This is last year, November, all the way up here to March, and then through April. And then when May comes in, it just rips. And again, this is a weekly chart. And then here we are into June. Had a pullback here, pull back into July. Then here we are, taking off July into August. Where she stops, nobody knows. The only thing you can do is watch your intraday price inflection points. It is very critical and key to do that. You're going to want to use your two-bar Charlie method so that you can track your positions a lot better and closely tied to the market. For those of you that have a lot of profit locked in that you need to protect, the two-bar Charlie method is the best way to go about doing that. If you don't know anything about the two-bar Charlie method, that means you have not gone through the Learning Academy, and I highly, highly, strongly suggest you go through the Learning Academy and find and get that. One matter of thing I need to talk about at the I've done a lot of upgrading and updating over the weekend with the premium trading room, you guys. So listen up. You should check your email folders, check your spam and junk and trash folders, because notices went out giving you the access keys to the new premium folders for the premium trading room. Um, Lots and lots of files being reorganized. What I did is there is a total of 3 files, one for the weekly pulse wave price triggers, one for documents, and then there's a tutorial one also where I take key tutorials from the Learning Academy and I place them in the folder. In order for you to play those files, I would suggest downloading an app called VLC Media Player. VLC Media Player plays just about any and every type of file type. So if you have VLC Media Player, you should have no problem playing those videos. Okay. So take a look at what I put in there. I think there are like 4 or 5 videos in there right now. And the two-bar Charlie is one of them. All right. So peep that when you get a chance. All right. So we got the Steam loaded now. You can see that on the weekly basis, it's been rather flat. All right. Here we were, you know, flat to slightly bearish. We had red, but we had no real convictions. Even though it was locked in, there was selling, but not enough pressure to really do too much. You put in a new low here, but then as soon as that low came in here on August the 1st, it pushed the price right back up again. You didn't revisit the highs that we made back here July 22nd, July 23rd, but it's flattened out. But now we're starting to build in sideways to slightly higher prices. We got bullishness locked in on the momentum side. You're still trading below that Kumo cloud, which is bearish on this daily chart, but you know it is what it is. And we just got the opening bell here, so I'm gonna have them wrap this up. I'm gonna pull up the weekly chart on the Steam so you can see where we are with that. All right, here on the weekly chart, you're also below the Kumo cloud, but that's to be expected. And you see on the weekly, you have locked in bearishness. The weekly chart is more powerful, more telling, because basically the market is overall flat. But if I had to give the bias, I would say it's to the upside, only because on the weekly chart, you can see here it's sloping up. Yeah, you're locked in on the bearishness, but you're not getting any follow through in the price. If price rolls over while we're locked in, then we know where we're going. But you can see here, even the cloud is just flat. It's solid. $3 is a major resistance on this thing here. All right, even on this spike. But look at this long pointer you got here. This pointer is absolutely amazing. All right, you had a $5 day back in June 16th. All right, and now look where we are now. And this is on a weekly. All right, so the week of June 16th, this thing ran all the way up to over $5, and then here we are way back down here. But this is a chief pointer, a key pointer. And you know what we say about these pointers. All right, look what happened back here. All right, you had a pointer here, but this one right here was a key pointer. And price did come back down here to the pointer here. All right, prices came, prices broke, just like the pointers told you they would. Now we're starting to make them here. All right, got a little beside itself here, but this pointer, and then you had another one, and then you had another one. We came down. Remember, pointers act like gaps. You're filling the gap, basically. All right, here you go. You tested it, didn't break it, and now here you are. I think the next stop now is this pointer here. Market wants to go back up and test that $5 range. We'll probably get exactly the $5 before it pulls back one more time. So at any rate, that's all I got now. So do yourself a favor if you have not already signed up for the weekly Pulse Wave price triggers. You can do so at pulsewavetrading.com. Learn how to trade these markets and make money when others don't. Learn what the central banks don't want you to know. Pulsewavetrading.com. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Pre-Market Pulse Scan. Today is Monday, August the 7th, 2017. The time is 12 minutes after 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Starting off with gold futures. As you can see, gold right now is trading down $2 at 12.6240. And as you can see on the daily chart here, the market has been coming off and losing momentum now. Kumo cloud as we get down here. And when we get to contract rollover around this date of August the 18th, that's probably what would be around the 1220 level. Either we would have spiked there on an intraday or possibly even closed there. All right. So at some point, prices will go there between now and then if we get sucked into this vortex. And really the time to do this, if it doesn't do anything today, it has tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a key day for gold. Gold needs to maintain these trend line supports on a closing basis. All right. Now, if we switch to the weekly side, you can see down here, the weekly momentum is at 1256.90. Okay. So we can't close below that this week. We need to be able to stay above that. If not, then we give up momentum on the weekly chart as well as on the daily chart. And then you get down here where you have some trend. This would be the second day in a row. Friday gave up the momentum, failed to close above the daily momentum line, and now we have some slightly more selling. We have intraday support right at the trend line of 1257.80, and then we have the next support at 1251.50. All things being equal, these supports should possibly hold. However, if they do not, then we're looking at being down back below possibly 1220 by the mid-month here in August. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It is what it is. It needs to find its footing here around these two support lines. All right, we got to get a bounce from there. If not, then the vortex is going to kick in and prices will be sucked here below the